Poisonrana.
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT, PostWrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever podcast app you're using, and of course,
YouTube.com/postwrestling. Hello, Postmarks.
hello Postmarks, hello upNXTberts, hello Poison Pals, hello NXT friends. We are here yet again. It is Tuesday night, so it is time to talk about some NXT, and thank you for listening to us wherever you may be.
Yeah, it feels like we just did this 2 days ago.
We did this on Sunday night,
Yeah.
so this really is a back to work for us. It was like, nope, doesn't matter.
No breaks, no days
John
off.
Wayfield.
Yeah.
There's a pay-per-view, too bad.
Yeah,
do
Raw must suck. Like, you've done your pay-per-view, and then you lost your Sunday, you're not having your Sunday off, and then, hey, 3 hours. So I can't complain about NXT.
You're right, Raw does suck. I was like, I'm going to SummerSlam this weekend. Let me watch 5 minutes, dude. I lasted you know what? I saw Maxine Dupree do the ocean suplex thing.
Right.
That was great.
Yeah.
I watched the rest on Twitter. But like they go to work, those guys. They do the pay-per-views and then they do the Monday Night Raws right after. That's how it feels like right now. But we watched Great American Bash on Sunday. We talked all about it. The podcast, the video on YouTube replay is all up on the Post Wrestling feed. So go check out all our thoughts on that, including one hell of an NXT main event. Title match. Holy, Carmelo and Dragunov absolutely killing it. Best NXT match in recent memory. Years.
Very good. Like they've been on form recently, I think, NXT.
Yeah.
There's been a few like little gems that have happened, but yeah, that Melo versus Dragunov was exceptional.
Yeah.
I thought.
So we're here to talk about all the fallout from that and more, because wrestling never stops. So we're gonna chat all about everything from tonight's episode of NXT. Before that, like I mentioned, we're going to SummerSlam this weekend, meaning we're gonna be doing some sort of SummerSlam roadshow podcast on the way back. So no Poisonrana this Sunday, but at some point Sunday night we'll give you an audio show with our whole weekend in Detroit.
Yeah, we'll get that somehow, some way, at some point. We'll definitely do our little a chat about SummerSlam and Detroit and everything. But it's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah.
In the D, is that what they call it?
Big D?
The Big D?
That's right, the D.
Yeah.
We're going to get I know our friend and listener, Jacy from the Six, is our Uber driver for the course of the trip. He's our driver. So I know he's working on his Detroit playlist because he made a banger one last year.
He did, yeah.
For Blood and Guts when he drove us. So I know he's working on that. We had obviously Eminem. We'll skip the Kid Rock because we might get that on Saturday night apparently.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Jack White.
Jack White,
right?
Yeah, that's right. Lots of Motown.
Yeah.
So I'm getting ready for that for the car ride there. So.
Yeah, I'm excited. Looking forward to it. I enjoyed Detroit last year when we went. There were a few things we wanted to do, but we couldn't because it's too dangerous.
Yeah.
I.e. having deep dish pizza. Just too dangerous, guys.
Yeah.
But we're hopefully righting that wrong this time round.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Buddy's.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna go there. I'm gonna hit up GCW. You're going to a Tigers game?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, lots of fun stuff. With SummerSlam. If you are in the area, hit us up. If we're going to the show Saturday, we're probably hitting up a bar before SummerSlam. Let us know. We'll let you know where we're going. So if you're in going to that area. So we're doing SummerSlam this weekend, but a few weeks later, we'll be doing our trip to London for Wembley Stadium for All In. So we thought it would be a great idea to review SummerSlam 1992 from Wembley Stadium We recorded it earlier today, so that's coming out.
It's in the bag. We've got it. We'll release later this week. All our thoughts on SummerSlam 92.
That's right.
Wembley Stadium.
Bret Hart, Bulldog in the stadium. Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man.
Rick Martel, Shawn Michaels.
Virgil, Nails.
Nails. Yeah. Going all into Nails and his exit from the company not long after this match. Like, isn't that crazy though? Like, we're going to Wembley in about a month. And to think, we assume like someone like Sting is going to be on this show.
Yeah.
This show is going to be like the biggest crowd I believe Sting has ever performed in.
Wow.
And think how many decades he's been performing.
True.
However, Nails got to do it like 30 years ago.
92.
Yeah.
Performed in front of 80,000.
Crazy.
Nails.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the Road Warrior, Hawk, motorcycle, possible LSD incident. See Dark Side of the Ring for that. But yeah, this is a total fun show. It was cool to look back at not only a classic SummerSlam, one of the best SummerSlams, especially that main event. We've definitely nerded out about that main event in the past. So we're going to chat all about that and kind of getting hyped for the new Wembley show, like 30 plus years later. So
yeah, got Jeff Jarrett v. Grado to look forward to.
Yeah. So I'm selling a ticket for anyone who needs one. When I saw that news, oh boy. That show, that podcast, our SummerSlam 92 review coming out on our Patreon. I'll probably put it up like tomorrow night or Friday morning or something, or Thursday morning, something like that. Yeah, for all patrons. It is the beginning of a month, which means it is still a cool time to check out what we do if you want to hear that SummerSlam review. If you also want to hear our best match ever Golden Lovers review, we've just been doing so many podcasts.
We just reviewed Jaws for Shark Week.
Jaws, yeah, Shark Week is over. We've learned a lot about sharks. I hope we're not all afraid of sharks, because remember, cows kill more people per year than sharks do. So
yeah. And cows do have bones, and that's why they're more
do.
dangerous, right?
Yeah. But the meat around them are pretty good
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, cows taste great.
Yeah. So we did Jaws. We've done a bunch of movie reviews, lots of wrestling over on the patreon.com/Poisonrana. It's only $5. Go give us a shot. And there's so many shows at your leisure there.
Yeah. And for the rest of this month, we're kind of staying in the kind of zone of All In and Wembley and the UK. We're going to finish our Daniel Craig James Bond reviews.
Yes.
No Time to Die. We thought this would be the perfect month, seeing that we're going to London to talk about maybe one of the most famous fictional Brits ever.
Right. He's
James
not real.
Bond. He might be. So we're doing that. We're going to be putting out a review of the original All In.
Yes, I know people are going to get excited about that. We're going to put feedback threads up early for these ones. Yes, we're going to look back at the original All In. Yes, we were there. We went with John away. We did a iconic podcast with them in our hotel room afterwards in Chicago.
I've never rewatched this show back. I've seen bits and bobs, but I've never rewatched it. And I have a feeling like there's bits I really remember, and there's going to be bits where I'm like, this was a match. This happened.
I've never watched the show front to back before, but I've definitely watched the main event with Rey Mysterio and Kota Ibushi a few times. I've rewatched Kenny versus Penta like definitely a bunch of times. I've watched that show. I'm trying to think what else. Though there's a few that shall not be named.
Yeah, there's Hangman Page against someone. There's Okada versus someone.
No,
it's Janela. No, that's right. It's the bit after, isn't it? Yeah.
Okada wrestles.
Okada wrestles.
Way too long. Okada just went.
Okada ruined the show.
Yeah, Okada went Broadway for no reason. Yeah, that's right. So we'll be doing lots of cool podcasts this upcoming month with our trips and stuff like that.
And I'm going to be on this very feed tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm going to be helping out the Post lads with their G1 coverage. I'm going to be joined by Eric Marcotte. I'm going to be filling the shoes of WH Park to talk about the G1 climate that's happening probably in a few hours from now. Looking at it, the one that's got my interest, I think, is Ishii Hanare. I think that looks like it could be a cool, heavy-hitting match. I'm a bit nervous because I just dropped a point, and I'm now in second place in the E Block standings. Oh. You're not too far behind. You're in joint third right now. So I'm hoping tomorrow, I have a big surge and move my way forward across the leader thing. But yeah, and you'll also get to find out what my rating scale will be.
You gave me a little teaser of it before, and I approve of it.
Yeah,
we got some set additions.
We've got some hints for you if you're having to be watching this
Said
right
too much.
now.
I've said too much.
Yeah.
I've said too much, but shout out Roger Moore.
Yeah. Okay. You're very obvious, Braden. Yeah.
He's
Hey,
behind
I'm not gonna say who won this match, but let me tell you that this guy, he loses. I'm like, oh well, thanks, you fucking idiot. But yeah, thanks for that. Tune in tomorrow.
Tune in over on the Post Wrestling feed. This feed here. You and Eric.
Me and Eric.
Yeah, that's a good
hot.
team. Yeah, I love Eric.
Yeah,
Shout
should
out
be
Eric.
good.
So yeah, lots of different podcasts that we got going on. Of course, over on the Poisonrana feed, we have tons of shows over there, including Shot in the Dark with John Siino, covering all the other wrestling that you may or may not watch, meaning Ring of Honor, Women of Wrestling, Impact, everything else. He watches it and covers it and talks about it in 15 minutes or less. So that Poisonrana weekly show, everything over on our feed as well. Go click that subscribe and check out all the other shows that we did. I saw Barbie today.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what did you
Well,
think?
first of all, I told my story. I feel like I said this on a show where I went to go see it and it was sold out.
Right.
I went to see it, it was sold out. So I was like, wow, I should just really start buying tickets like way in advance. I guess that's just the new norm. Call me old school. I just figure you could show up to the theater and be like, hey, is there tickets available? But no, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
And they had flashing signs like all these shows are sold out.
Wow.
So then I went to Scotiabank Theater and caught a show, but still like I don't think I've been to like a theater in the middle of it's a Tuesday, so it's cheaper, obviously.
Oh, okay, yeah, Tuesdays are
But
busy.
it was packed.
Yeah.
So I've never been in a theater with so many people pulling out their phones and taking videos with flash and TikToking. I knew I was
Really?
at Barbie when I came across like girls doing this.
It's probably the first time some of these people have been to a theater. They're so used to just watching at home
On their
or
phones.
watching everything on TikTok.
I was like, I didn't say anything. I
I
wasn't
would
gonna be that. It wasn't enough to make me be
If I was there, I'd have been like, in like the gruffest, manliest voice possible, being like, oi, can you put the phones away? I'm trying to watch Barbie.
That's exactly why I didn't. Like, what am I gonna say to these people? Like, excuse me, I'm trying to fucking watch.
I remember I went to see Toy Story 3 once. Fantastic movie. Great movie.
It is.
And these girls behind us were talking
Right.
about like 5 minutes into the film. And I just turned around and I'm like, excuse me, are you planning on talking throughout the entire film? Right? No. I'm like, good. I'm trying to watch my film about toys. That's like what it's Woody and Bo Peep
Yeah.
or whatever. I was
rem-
using in the third one.
I went to the last Harry Potter movie. I've seen 4 of them. So the last
Okay.
time I saw one was the 4th one in theaters. And I went with some friends and they kept talking. And like, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan to begin with, but I'm like, guys, like there's a respect thing in theaters. Like watch the movie. They kept jerking off and chatting and shit like that.
Jerking off?
No. They were just like fucking,
Rest in peace, Paul Rubens, by the way.
yeah, in a movie theater.
Yeah.
They're just like fucking around and like, kind of causing shit during this movie. So this guy in front of us, like who was there with like his little kid, just like starts telling him to shut up, and then it's like shut the fuck up. And then he's like getting really upset, gets up out of his seat, like really upset. My friend's still like messing around and laughing, and like by the end of the movie, as soon as the lights come on, like the credits hit, this guy gets out of his chair, comes around, grabs my one friend by like the collar, and is like, you need to learn not to fucking talk, like in front of his kid.
Yeah.
Like you need to learn not to fucking talk in the theater, and like going off and everything. And like I was like, he's right. but
Ken, you're this dad as well. You've probably like cinema's expensive. He's probably bought his kid like overpriced popcorn, a drink. Like he's going to see a film that he probably doesn't want to see.
wanna see Harry
he's taking
Potter.
his kid. He's probably dropped $50 to see this thing, to take his kid.
Yeah.
And this idiot's chatting the whole time, ruining the experience.
yeah, well, like I'm watching Barbie, and I could notice like the person beside me twice pulled out their phone. I could see they were like recording TikTok, but they're using the flash was on.
Come on.
And then like people who were not even with this party, like rows away, were also doing it. And then a row down there, they're in the, I'm like, is this just the normal now? People are allowed to just pull. I don't think you should be on your phones during the movie. Like that's like maybe quick text. Oh, I'm at the movie.
Discreet, what's the time?
Yeah, sure. But
Like,
a
I need to
film
pee.
thing, like,
Is there much left of
some-
this film?
yeah,
This kind of thing.
it's a movie,
Is there an
yeah.
end credit scene?
yeah, exactly.
Spoilers. There's not in Oppenheimer.
Okay, yeah. No, there's a new Godzilla movie coming out. So
Okay.
that one's
Yeah, it always seems to be kids' movie. I went to see the Lego movie once.
Okay.
And this guy in front, a dad with 2 kids,
yeah.
answers the phone in the movie.
Oh my god.
And I tapped him on the shoulder and was like, "Are you being serious right now?
That's insane.
Like, your kids are trying to watch this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch this."
Yeah. There's sort of like a law to this, an unwritten
It's
rule.
etiquette.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not
Manners.
like, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Go to film, you shut the fuck up.
Just watch the movie.
Yeah.
Or watch it at home so you can go on your phone and do whatever you want. However, I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, you
Very
did.
funny movie.
Yeah, it's good fun.
The best part of the Barbie movie were the men. Like Ryan Gosling and Michael Cera and
Siino.
yeah, he's so funny, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they were killing me laughing. So
Have you seen all the stuff around him recently where people like, do the cast not like him?
yeah,
Like,
what's going on with that? I saw the video.
so there's
and
the video of like him and Ryan Gosling.
he got his arm like on Gosling.
Yeah.
And Gosling like clearly whispers like, "Move your fucking arm" or
Yeah,
something.
he's
like
like,
that.
yo, like, and not
Yeah.
that. And he's like, oh, too tender for you?
Yeah.
So there was apparently stuff like years ago where like people kind of found some stuff on a Reddit about like maybe he's homophobic.
Oh, okay.
He was, I think, from what I read, it was basically poor. Like he was basically playing a pedophile in a film or a theater or something, and doing research into it. He was like, oh, it's like he somewhat empathizes because it's a thing with them where it's like, you know,
Okay.
and he compared it to being gay.
Right,
And
okay.
people like, what, you're comparing pedophiles to gay?
Right,
People
right,
like,
right.
no. And he's kind of like since spoken and been like,
You're not talking
yeah.
about Ryan Gosling.
no. Siu Limu? Is that
I
his
always
name?
mess up his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was like that going round, and like it resurfaced like whenever like this film came out, and he kind of put an end to that on his Instagram. He was like no, I love
Yeah.
everyone and support everyone and blah blah blah. But then there's just been these little things from this film, like the clip with Ryan Gosling. Margot Robbie was asked who's the most like their character in the film, and she picked him, who's like Ryan Gosling's Ken is like just dumb blonde Ken.
Yeah.
Whereas he's more like the narcissistic
Yeah,
Ken.
Simu Liu, yeah.
And then she's like, oh, but I love him. He's great. But it's like, you picked like the shittiest character in
Right.
there to be most like his character.
It was pretty funny.
It was good, though.
Yeah, like like I said, there was only a few dudes in the theater, and I laughed like loudly at things a lot of other people didn't laugh at, and like vice versa. So it really like hit over the head of some funny things.
I honestly thought it was great. I thought it had a good message while still kind of, I can't say I grew up with Barbies, but it felt like it was paying homage to a lot of kind of Barbie things throughout the years as well, and was just genuinely a funny film, a good fun film. I thought it was great.
I think it will be the biggest movie this year.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars. It's
I really liked Oppenheimer as well.
Yeah.
But I would say it's kind of the first Nolan film you don't have to see in the theaters.
okay.
You don't have to see in IMAX. The sound is awesome. Like some of the
A bomb.
yeah, but like there's certain things like that, like certain uses of sound to like build tension in certain moments and things like that. That's really good. But it's unlike all his other films that have something like very visual.
Right.
It's basically talking for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad I saw it in theaters, because if I'm watching that kind of film at home, I wouldn't be paying attention. So it forced me to pay attention, and I did think it was great. But compared to other Nolan films, this is probably one I'm never going to watch again.
Because it's just like, well, I saw it.
I saw it, yeah, and it's great. Like, all the acting's fantastic, like, but it's, you know, there's something about watching certain scenes from The Dark Knight on an IMAX screen, Interstellar, Inception, like those films that just are so, even Dunkirk as well, but like this one, it's like, I don't really need to see Cillian Murphy, but taller,
Yeah, I guess.
you know?
Just hanging out talking about making a bomb.
Yeah.
It's not the most exciting. Yeah, I want to see it, but I think I might wait, because 3 hours, like Barbie was 2, but it was like pretty crazy. Like I smoked a joint before watching Barbie, and it was so visually. It was so like visually like crazy. Like the filming, the making of it is, I'm sure, is just like fantastic. Great effects and everything. And again, I was like howling, and I think Ryan Gosling should win Best Actor, and it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be between, for Best Song this year, it's gonna be between Ken, Ryan's song, and Peaches by Jack Black from
Right.
Mario. They're very similar songs, and I could see both being going up there.
I just want that Drive Barbie crossover.
That would be pretty
Because
sweet, yeah.
the driver doesn't have a name in Drive.
Right, it's
Who's
Ken.
saying it's not just Ken?
Ken.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's
Yeah.
adjusted to the real world and That is the driver.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Drive? Yeah, I listen to the soundtrack all the time. But yeah,
Ryan Gosling's got some good films.
Honestly,
some really good films.
I was watching this movie. I was like, I love Margot Robbie, and she was phenomenal as Barbie. She was such a perfect Barbie. But Ken stole this. Like, Ryan Gosling is one of my favorite actors, and he's from here too. Breaker High, baby, never forget. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed Barbie. Definitely one of the funnier movies I've watched this year, and almost a kids movie, but really not.
And as someone who just loves the cinema in general, I love that in the last year we've got films that are actually bringing people back.
Sure.
Because it kind of depressed me a bit after the pandemic, where everyone's like, oh, just watch it on streaming. It's like, come on, no one makes a film to be watched on your TV. You want to go and experience the movies, be in with people and reacting with people and seeing it with a great sound system and huge screen. I don't know. I like the theater.
Yeah, I do.
So
too.
like, you know, Top Gun Maverick, Barbie, Oppenheimer, bringing people back. It's pretty cool.
I'm trying to catch up on the Mission Impossibles to eventually just see it. I don't need to see an IMAX or whatever, but just to see it like in theaters would be nice enough for me. But I need.
Well, we got time because nothing's going to be made for the next year or so anyway.
Yeah, so I might see some movies while I can. Actually, a lot of people are praising the new Ninja Turtle, so I might actually check that out as well. And
me too.
Yeah, I know you go. Yeah, let's go see it. Our Ninja Turtles 2 review also out on the Patreon from a few weeks ago in honor of that. So yeah, lots of fun movies to go see. I was bummed though. 50 Cent was in Toronto last night, and I just didn't want to like. It was pretty expensive. Resale on it was nuts. So
it wasn't just 50 Cent.
No, you thought it would be.
That should be his gimmick.
No. Yeah, tickets for 50 Cent. Yeah. He'd be rich, as rich as he is. But I heard it was a good show, so I was kind of bummed out. So instead, watching some movies.
Well, you know what else was a good show?
What's that?
NXT.
That's right.
From August 1st, 2023, from the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. And we start with a graphic for Adrian Street, who passed away just this week.
Yes, rest in peace. And rest in peace to Pee-wee as well. Love me some Pee-wee. I was watching some clips of Pee-wee's Big Adventure last night and just started watching way too many. Remember how I showed you a movie the other day, and just by watching through clips through YouTube, and we sat there for like an hour and we're like, did we just watch this full movie in different clips through YouTube? It was Euro Trip. Yeah. And we're like, yeah. So I kind of did that with Pee-wee's Big Adventure the other day, which is just one of my all-time favorites. And the Alamo posting.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh man, just beautiful. Sorry.
Yeah, sad week. Angus Cloud as well from Euphoria.
Oh yeah,
passing away
that's
at 25.
wild. Yeah,
like,
young. Yeah, really sad.
Very sad. So rest in peace to those three.
Yeah, smoke him if you got him.
And we open the show with the new tag team champions, Tony D and Stax, arriving when they're jumped by Gallus. Tony's trying to help Stax, but he gets beaten up too. And Joe Coffey reminds them that the Gallus boys are always on top. And this is going to kind of set up our main event for the evening. And it cuts to Booker T, who's just laughing. Vicker's like, whoa, why are you laughing? This guy just got mugged on the streets. Yeah. And he's like, well, welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, he's doing his diehard, welcome to the party, pal. I don't understand why, but yeah, all right. I like that the parking lot is still unsafe ground. Unmarked ground here, still for attacks. And right away made you go, well, wait a second. There's three of them. Come on. We were saying last week, like, it's to even these odds. They need someone to help them. And that definitely was the kind of motive.
The thread of the show.
Yeah.
And then as like Vic and Booker are setting up the show, Jacy Jayne just storms in, grabs the headset, and says, tonight, Lyra isn't going to have anyone to pull me off of her. I'm going to beat her up. So I like when they start the show like just hot with action and getting right into the match. Because Lyra Valkyria then makes her entrance, and Jacy jumps her during the entrance, and they're fighting on the floor. Jacy hits her somersault senton off the apron onto Lyra on the floor. They get into the ring, and the match now officially starts. Lyra starts coming back with these big right hands, hits a running crossbody, and during the break, Jacy Jayne comes back with a running neck breaker. There's a diving crossbody off the top rope from Lyra, followed by a beautiful looking Northern Light suplex with a bridge. Jacy then comes back with a super kick and a pretty nice looking spine buster for a 2, and then goes for a spin kick to Lyra, but Lyra ducks and hits one of her own, like the kind of black mass spinning back kick.
Yeah, like an axe kick or something. Yeah.
And takes down Jacy. She climbs on top rope and hits her bird splash.
The bird splash. The
bird
the best
poop
we got for the
for the win.
the bird splat.
Yeah, to pick up the win over Jacy Jayne.
Yeah, I'd say maybe one of Jacy Jayne's better matches. We've definitely been high on Lyra Valkyria, and the wrestling was totally here. Like both of them were hitting some pretty cool looking moves. I agree. Jayne looked good with that spinebuster and her low super kicks as well. But Lyra is definitely one of my favorite wrestlers in the last little while of NXT, because she wrestles so smooth and works so good. My only critique is the finish. Like she's got some way cooler moves. So like why is that
splash?
Like everyone does that as a move these days. It's just kind of like not that exciting. So I'm wondering, like she's done the kind of black mass kick as a finish as well. That's it's a lot more exciting than just the splash, but still fun match.
Yeah, I think Jacy is one of those wrestlers who it kind of depends on her opponent. I didn't really enjoy much of her stuff with Gigi. I thought the cage match was probably the best one they had. But I remember kind of some of those tags, like when she was in there with like a Kaden and Katana, like she was pretty good, but other times she's looked a bit rough.
Yeah.
Lyra is definitely like one of, if not the best women in this division. I think she's so good. Her kicks look snug, like her suplexes are nice.
Yeah.
She just seems one of the more complete wrestlers, and I thought Jacy had a good match with her with some nice aggression. And I think Jacy as well has really kind of, he's taken the kind of toxic attraction thing and then made it a little bit more unhinged. And I believe her so much more as like the mean girl of NXT than Cora Jade, who seems so put on. I feel like it's, I feel she's actually since the split kind of surpassing Gigi in a way.
I guess so. Yeah, since the split, I've not been into like these stories of these two characters as much as maybe I thought I would be, kind of way back before Toxic Attraction. So I think it was just kind of a weird spot to be put in. But when you have a good match like this, definitely would like kind of raise your stock. I definitely put her over Cora Jade as well. But definitely loving Lyra Valkyria, and could definitely see her on the main roster. It will eventually happen. So I think which is the end goal of NXT and developmental. But she's kind of lost those bird feathers things, and which I don't think she'll totally get rid of. But again, like get a flashier move, and like you'll have it all really.
RYN in the chat is saying Jacy Jayne's facial expressions are good as well, which I agree. She's always like doing something.
She's always angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We then go backstage to the locker room with Trick and Melo, and this was quite interesting. Melo apologizes to Trick for him getting in the way, like basically taking that stray, the torpedo Moscow on the outside.
You caught that stray.
And Trick goes, well, you got the dub, and that's all that matters. But Trick says that he meant what he said last week and wants to start doing things for me. He goes, we are Trick and Melo gang, ride or die, but I ain't no sidekick. And Melo's like, I don't see you as a sidekick. And he's like, no, I know you don't, but they do. And I ain't the champion, you are. And you beat the Mad Dragon, and that's good, but I need to slay that dragon too. Melo says, I respect that. Trick just assures him, this ain't no breakup, but I gotta be my own man. And they hug. So kind of teasing maybe like a soft split maybe.
A little bit of a like do your own thing kind of thing. We're still there when you need it, when you need a partner and stuff. But
I think it's also like doing this, you can build to the point where Trick kind of respectfully asks for that title shot.
I thought that's what he was.
I thought that's where it was going, and I think maybe that's a bit too soon.
Right.
So he's still mad at Ilja and wants that match with him.
Yeah.
We go to Mackenzie Mitchell, who interviews Tony D and Stax, and she asks for a medical update on them both after the attack. And Tony goes, yeah, I got a medical update. Gallus are dead men walking, and I want all three of Gallus tonight. Stax like, but Don, there's 3 of them and 2 of us. He goes, I know some people. I'll make some calls. So now we set up the mystery of who will be the third man all night.
Mabel.
And obviously, the first 2 that come to my head, Mabel and Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze?
He was always the mystery man, remember?
In NXT, him and Breeze Angle were always the mystery tag partners. Yeah, I think me and you called this kind of right away. We're like, well, Two Dimes is still in the other place, so it can't be him.
I thought Cole Carter was not on the roster
Yeah, we were
page
talking
anymore.
about it. Yeah, we were talking about it.
Like, that would
ago.
be such the return. Two Dimes, the
Yeah.
place would explode.
Nuts.
The roof of the CWC would come off.
Yeah. I don't think it would be him. So then we thought, well, he's done quite similar things with Santos Escobar. So that's exactly who we went to. But then we're like, it could be Nunzio, Daddy, Big Vito. There's a few of them.
AJ Galante could come back into it.
I thought he was dead.
He's dead.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
There's a few. Big Guido. Is that
Tony Mamaluke?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's a few there. Classic. We need more Italian wrestlers.
Yes. Rhea Ripley and Dirty Dominic Mysterio from Judgment Day come out. And Rhea says, and still NXT North American Champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. And Dom, as soon as he starts talking, obviously, a load of boos. He says, Mommy is always right. And Rhea says, at Great American Bash, Dom proved he's more of a man than Wesley, more of a man than Mustafa Ali, and more of a man than all of you.
Oh.
And that makes me, Dom, the greatest luchador that ever lived.
What a statement from
As
Dom.
he's saying in his purple plaid shirt.
Yeah.
Then Dragon Lee interrupts, and I loved Rhea's reaction here. She was like, oh my god, this guy again. And Rhea goes, oh, it's Rey Mysterio Jr. Again. And Dragon says, I don't like you, to Rhea. You call yourself the greatest lucha of all time. Well, I don't believe that. You don't believe that, and they don't believe that. Rey is the greatest. And Dragon says that if he's got the cojones, that Rhea's got Dom's cojones in her purse. And Rhea says, yeah, well, Dom's cojones are way bigger than yours. And Dragon challenges him to put the title on the line next week. And Dom accepts, saying that Mammy will be and always will be in his corner. And Dragon says, yeah, well, I thought you'd say that. Well, I've got someone in my corner too. And Rey Mysterio appears on the screen and confirms that he will be in the corner of Dragon Lee, his real son, next week.
That's what it feels like. I'm like, is that your kid? Wait a second. This one's your real kid.
It feels like Dragon Lee turned up to NXT and they're like, wait. That's your mask? Yeah. All right. Ray, how do you feel about that? I endorse it. All right, cool. You're his new son.
Okay, so
Rey Mysterio Jr.
Rey Mysterio Jr. and Rey Mysterio Jr. next week on NXT against Dom.
So that means that Rey is also Drilistico / Mystico / Sin Cara. No, okay, we're not doing this bit.
No.
Okay,
he's not involved with that family.
Okay,
he's just helping this kid out.
Okay,
because the rest of his family are signed with AEW, so he's got to help Dragon Lee out. Rey Mysterio is going to be on NXT in Dragon Lee's corner next week to face Dom. The ratings are going to go through the roof.
I mean, this is just every week now, like main roster involvement, and it's definitely helping the show. And I think they're mixing them in the right way. Like, people will tune in, see Dom and Rey, and might be exposed to a Dragon Lee for the first time.
Yeah.
You know?
After some of the stuff with Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio teasing, kind of bummed it's not right away going to, I'll just wrestle on NXT, because that would be pretty cool. I hope he's okay. I guess he's okay if from that bump the other week, but yeah.
You could always get a tag down the line.
I imagine
there could be some screwy finish and set up something bigger.
If he doesn't help Dragon Lee win this title that way, then it'll maybe just set up a tag match for the week after. So I do think Rey Mysterio, if he is okay, that he will be wrestling like on NXT, which is pretty cool. But there is a few like Axiom Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio versus Dragon Lee should just happen as well. But, but next week.
Yeah, and I'm really enjoying the Rhea and Dom stuff on NXT. It's so definitely working.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, and she is like such a big, strong character, and it works, and it's so funny with her like basically being his heavy and doing all. She's the reason he's the champion and the reason he retained. She's
so come into her own, because I remember there was a time when we weren't particularly high on Rhea's promos. We always knew we always said she was miscast as a babyface in NXT. We were like, no, the big bully works for her. But she's an absolute star right now.
Pretty great.
We go back to Melo's locker room when Wesley storms in and is kind of smacking doors and kicking chairs.
He's so angry.
And he basically, Melo's like, yo, chill, dude. And he's like, I've got 3 losses and you're on top of the world. He's mad. And Melo says, yeah, well, you know what? I went to war on Sunday too. I can barely breathe from those chops Dragunov gave me. And you don't see me being mad. Yeah, because you're the champion. Melo, like, and he's like, but I know what the title does. It consumes you. And that's why Breaker snapped, which is interesting that he's referencing the Bron Breaker kind of heel turn here. And this is when Noam Dar walks in with the Heritage Cup and says he's the champion. Wes says he isn't. And Noam said, well, Fraser didn't beat me, but Dom beat you twice. And Wes is all mad. He's, let me at him. So sets up a match for later tonight with the new pissed off Wesley teaming with Melo, taking on Metaphors, Noam Dar, and Oro Mensah.
Yeah, Carmelo lost a friend a few minutes ago and found a new one. He's a bit upset right now, but he's like, you could be my friend and fight these guys. Yeah, this match sounds pretty fun with Noam Dar and Mensah kind of hot off there. They had a pretty fun match in that opener on Sunday at the Great American Bash. So
yeah, I am kind of like, I don't know if concern's the right word. I just hope, like, I this felt like it didn't really have a disputed finish or anything like that. It was just like a clean win from Dijak, which just seems a little odd coming off the back of that big win. That you're like, I feel the momentum with Eddy's been a little stop-start at the moment. So, and it felt like these guys didn't get a whole lot of time. And I thought the body of the match was actually pretty good, but it was like, okay, let's try and do a 10-minute match in 5 minutes here, and just seemed a little rushed.
Yeah, no. Sorry if the YouTube chat can hear us. Bear with us.
It's
shout out
starting
Fido
to pick up again, but apologies.
I know Pollock has issues, and he was like, was he saying Fido? And I was like, we had Fido, so Fido sucks.
Yeah, it seems to be reconnecting now.
Okay,
so it should be good.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, if you missed it on YouTube, this match wasn't all that.
No, it was okay, and they'll rematch it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Moving on, we see Tony D'Angelo on the phone. He's trying to get someone for the main event, and he's saying, look, if anyone understands, it's you. Business is business. So who is he talking to?
Yeah. Who could he be talking to? I think we got it when he said business. Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm surprised they didn't mention Elektra, because business went up, what, 16%?
It did come to mind. Yeah, business was good when she was in charge.
We then see that John Cena's film Hidden Strike, starring Cena and Jackie Chan, is the #1 movie on Netflix, and therefore the #1 movie in the world.
That's how it works these days.
I mean, technically, like, if it's been watched by, has this been watched by more people?
Oh, yeah.
Then,
Probably,
so it's the #1.
Probably.
It's the best.
What's it called?
Hidden Strike.
Hidden Blade.
Yeah.
Hidden Strike. Yeah, I kind of want to watch it. It's John Cena and Jackie Chan. I'm not going to rush.
They've done a film before, haven't they?
What? No, I don't think so.
Well, is it because
no, Arnold and Jackie did one like a few years ago.
I'm not mistaking Cena for Arnold.
Some people
no, because like he's learned like Mandarin, hasn't he?
Okay.
Or is it Cantonese?
Yeah.
He went like years ago to do a film with Jackie Chan. Because unless this is this film, but I feel this was filmed years ago.
I don't know.
I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Chat. How many films have Cena and Jackie Chan?
I'm sure it's like, kind of paint by numbers, action comedy, but I'll definitely check it out. I love me the old Jackie Chan action comedies, so I'll definitely watch it when I'm like, I don't know, nothing to do kind of day.
John Cena and Jackie Chan's action movie lands 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's the #1 film in the world.
Yikes.
Yeah, I'm not in a rush.
Yeah. I'm definitely not rushing, because the trailer didn't do it too much justice for me. So I watched it, I was like, this would be great. But one day, well, I'm sure someone will pick it in like a year or so.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's a few other ones that we've done Rush Hour before, and I love those ones. But I love Cena is really in the #1 movie as well, though.
In Barbie, yeah.
Yeah. Well, spoilers. Jeez.
However. We needed more Siino.
Yeah, I needed more mermaid scene.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're talking. So yeah, I would watch this movie, but is Siino going to be on Raw as well, or are they just saying, "Hey, happy Siino"?
I think
for a second.
No, I think just happy
Oh,
Siino.
okay, cool.
We go to Dana Brooke and Kalani Jordan, who are watching last week's NXT.
I hate
on the
this
tablet.
trope. Why would anyone be sitting in the locker room while tonight's show is going on, watching last week's?
Yeah.
Also, what are you using to watch it? Is it on the network already? Are you like, if it's Canada, you
It
definitely
don't,
ain't watching
yeah, I
it
know
on
they
your
got
phone.
Peacock, but like, yeah, man.
We're still having issues with the Canadian. I mean, this show wasn't on.
I was trying to watch SummerSlam '92 for this review, and like,
Yeah,
just won't work.
the feeds are gonna be nuts.
It's like SummerSlam this weekend. I'm glad I'm going.
So we can actually watch.
I know
it.
my feed will be good there.
Yeah.
Let's hope we make it across the board to start with, I guess. So they're watching last week's match, and Kalani's saying like, "Oh, you were such a badass last week," and Dana says, "Yeah, I needed this to come out of me. All the directions my career has gone, all the negative comments I've received. As soon as I held that kendo stick, I just saw red." Kalani's like, "Yeah, you're a badass." And Dana goes, "Yeah, well, you need to be a badass too. And it's all very good us training gymnastics, but you need to find that killer instinct." So I think we're getting Deathmatch Kalani moving forwards.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, "Well, you had a kendo stick match. I'll have one."
Next week they're watching the iPad and it's just Jun Kasai. Like,
Dana Brooke versus Jun Kasai. Book it, someone, please.
one day, one spring break years from now.
I have not seen him live, so I need to make that happen. But book it, TK. So maybe Jordan Kalani here is gonna wear the Catwoman outfit next week. That's the dark place.
She just needs to fuck someone up, really.
She's gonna murder someone. Her new finish is gonna be the hidden blade.
It is something I like. I find just because of the restrictions in these like hardcore matches.
Yeah.
When you're watching other wrestling and it's Dana Brooke is now like badass
I'm a
Dana Brooke
badass.
because she hit someone with a kendo stick. It's like, no, like stab someone. You know, like
Yeah.
You know,
Get a light tube.
like it's
Light something
at
on
least
fire.
thumbtacks. Like something like thumbtacks, you're then like, wow.
Lego.
Like, they went there, but it's she used a kendo stick in a trash can, which like see quite a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty kid friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe Kalani will have that killer Kalani.
Killer Kalani. Yeah, I like it. They won't let her say that though.
We go to our next match, a women's tag match. Yulisa Leon and Valentina Feroz taking on the team of Lola Vice and Elektra Lopez. And we see a video on Instagram where Lola and Elektra are watching Yulisa and Valentina's match from from Great American Bash, and they say that those two don't have the fire that we have.
Damn.
So this match is going on. Lola Vice in kind of Miami Vice inspired gear, the blue and the pink,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see it. Yeah.
and
As Booker called her, hotter than Chalupa Green.
yeah, that's true.
I had some the other day. I do love
Chalupa,
Yeah, it's
green sauce is
Yeah,
is good hot sauce.
fire.
Yeah,
It's good.
Yulisa starts this match and hits this nice kind of data roll to Elektra, and then a springboard arm drag. Feroz tags in, and Yulisa, there's a lot of Yulisa, who's the taller of the two, just throwing Valentina around, and this she kind of throws and assists into like an Arabian moonsault onto Elektra. Vice then distracts the referee, allowing Elektra to take control of Valentina. Lola comes in and hits a running hip attack in the corner for a 2 count. And Leon gets tagged back in and drops Vice with this big clothesline and then starts delivering these suplexes and a Michinoku driver.
Yeah, it looked great.
But after a bit of a distraction, Lola catches Leon with a spinning back kick to the face for the win.
Yeah, that MMA background here, Lola Vice just knocking her head right off here. That looked pretty good. I'd say the best she's looked so far.
We haven't seen a great deal
Yeah.
of her, but I think in this it was a tag, so it's limited what she's doing, but I didn't think she looked too green. I thought she looked pretty pretty good here.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see where she can go. She could potentially be a really big star in WWE. I mean,
she's got the look, and
definitely
she's
has
got
the
kind
look.
of the background as well.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I was really impressed with Leon in this match.
We're always impressed with the team of these two.
I feel Valentina normally stands out a bit more because she does more of the flying.
Yeah.
But Leon here is like, she's a bit bigger and can hit more of those power moves. And I thought her suplexes and stuff looked really nice here. She really impressed me. And yeah, I thought this was pretty good between these four.
Yeah, a lot better than I thought, and I love that they're trying to push Lola Vice, because I think a lot of people know her from before from WWE. I was not familiar, but a lot of people were messaging us like, "Oh, I know this person. That's a big deal," and I know we're behind Leon and Feroz, and I'm kind of bummed they lost, but like I know they'll have their moment eventually, hopefully, because they've definitely been.
I
stepping
hope so.
up.
These two are great.
They've been stepping up.
We see the women's champion, Tiffany Stratton, on TikTok, and she says, "Let me celebrate. I beat this little girl, but that little girl pushed me. And when I was in some of those submissions, I could have passed out from the pain, but I didn't. And next week, I'll come back, and who knows what I'll do. Maybe I'll pick my next opponent. Maybe I will have a Tiffy-bration. Who the fuck knows?" Toodles.
Yeah, so Tiff's retained, and she'll be here next week.
I like how they've kind of kept, like, she's a heel, but she's
Always.
kind of, even like when she's like won by like when she tapped out in the match, it wasn't through a distraction she caused. It was Chase U stuff going on.
Right.
You know, like she hasn't really cheated to win at any point. And she even
fair.
here, she's like, yeah, I faced this little girl, but she challenged me. I think it's good because I think like she's gonna break out as a babyface at some point, and it's like a slow burn to get there where it's not gonna feel like a complete 180 when they do it.
Yeah, no, I remember when she beat Lyra, it was the same thing afterwards when she won the belt. Like the next week, the next Tuesday, she said, "Oh, like she pushed me. She's the best, but like, you know, obviously I'm better, but she was the best. She pushed me to the limit."
Yeah.
So she gets her opponents over. So yeah, it's kind of baby facing her a little bit, but she came out as Barbie at the show.
Yeah.
So I mean, like she's got to be baby face originally again, but I mean for the first time, and then I think maybe back on the main roster is when you launch it, the real heel mean character kind of thing.
Who do you think her next opponent should be?
I don't know. I guess Lyra at this
Go
point.
back
But
to
we've
Lyra.
already seen that, so I don't really know.
I think you could do that. Like, I think September 30th, I think is No Mercy. I think that's far enough where you could do a TV program with someone and then Lyra heat it up again.
Yeah, that's true. Because I don't really know who else we got going on.
On the babyface side, like, I don't know if you go to Roxy this quick.
Right.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
We go to our next match. Wes Lee and the NXT champion Carmelo Hayes taking on Metaphors, Noam Dar, and Oro Mensah. And as we said, this is a pissed off Wes Lee, and he jumps Metaphor during their entrance.
Their entrance is so cool.
They've got this like pose with the colors.
The bars of different colors. It's like Charlie's Angels or something like that. It's cool.
And Mello kind of pulls Wes away and is like, yo, chill, let's get in the ring. Let's start the match.
Stop. Calm down.
Noam hasn't even taken his jacket off yet when he comes in the ring at some points. Mello catches Mensah with his springboard clothesline, tags in Wes, and Wes hits this weird senton. It was like a lazy senton.
Yeah.
Like, if this was Orange Cassidy doing it, it would have made sense, but yeah, he just kind of stepped over and just fell back.
I guess because he's angry, so he's just like falling.
I don't give it. Yeah,
I don't know.
It seemed like that. At one point, Wes tags in, but wasn't holding the rope. So the ref is like, hey, tag rope. So he kind of comes around to the other side of the turnbuckle, holds it, and is looking annoyed. And is like, okay, you see that? I'm tagged in. Wes goes up top, and Jakara Jackson gets in the way of Jakara and Lash get in the way to protect Noam. So Wes is like mad about that as well. After the break, Noam and Mello are going at it, and this is a match I kind of like to see. I thought these two had a nice little sequence with each other, and Mello is just so smooth. Hits his satellite facebuster thing, which just looks awesome.
Yeah.
And Wes goes up top, but Jakara gets in the ring and is like standing in front of, I think it's Noam here, and Wes just shrugs and hits the spiral tap anyway, causing Jakara to move out the way. It's a 1-2, and Mensah breaks up the cover. And then Wes is setting up for the cardiac kick when Mensah shoves Melo, so he's in the way, gets hit by the cardiac kick. It did look a little contrived here.
Yeah, I thought this looked a little, maybe they messed it up.
It was meant to be Mensah just shoves him and he gets hit, but it was like Melo going, get into position.
Yeah, it reminded me of Austin Powers. Get out of the way, move. And the guy's like,
no.
And he's like,
yeah,
down there.
it was like a little bit. Yeah,
it was just a little bit. These guys are usually on the ball, but I did catch that, and I don't know if the crowd were chanting "you effed up" at that or something else after the fact. I think of the fact that he nailed Melo with it, and like
I think they were just chanting that, like you hit your own partner.
Yeah.
There's then the super kick from Mensah to Wes, and then the Nova roller from Noam Dar to pick up the win, and another L to Wesley.
Yeah, pretty crazy. He's even more upset now that he lost again. And after the match, Melo's like, "Yo, man, first of all, calm down. But like, what happened? Why'd you do that?" And he's like, "Well, it was a mistake. You got pushed into me."
Yeah, Melo was like Melo understood. Yeah. He was like, "It's cool. Like these things happen." And Melo and Wes like, "No, it's not cool." So they're going at it, and Wes is just asking, "Where were you? Where were you?"
Bro, where were I? You nailed me in the head with your finish.
And Melo just tells him, "Look, you got to straighten it up. Straighten it out.
I didn't understand.
Sort yourself out."
Where were you? You kicked me in the head with your finishing move, and you got pinned. Yeah. What do you want me to do?
And there were chants after this of Melo missed.
That's right. So technically, Noam Dar has beaten the NXT champ in a match. Yeah. So I know that will definitely be something we go towards. But I do foresee we get the Wes Melo match as well, which could be awesome.
That could be No Mercy.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely.
We go to a video package from Bron Breakker, who's targeted Von Wagner. He says, "I got to watch your story unfold over the last few weeks, and it's touching stuff, but you're a nobody, just like your father was a nobody.
Bo Beverly.
And if you don't like the stuff I'm saying, come find me. And you know the picture of you as a kid with a scar on your head? You think that's bad? Or wait until I'm done with you."
This guy's what I love.
I love this.
I love this guy.
He's so good.
This character is what I love about wrestling. Just this is the badass. Like just saying rude shit, just being mean. He looks like he lives this gimmick. He's probably a nice guy in real life, but like, damn, I am believing that he's a scumbag. Like who just
he's playing it so well,
Yeah.
and So this match is confirmed for next week from Wagner, Bron Breakker, and I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Look at this battle of the what is it? Battle of the Nepo babies, because he's like, my dad's better than your dad, because my dad's fucking Scott Steiner? No, sometimes I forget which Steiner is.
My dad's a bigot. What about yours?
yeah. We actually talk a bit about Von Wagner's dad because we looked back at SummerSlam '92 and the Beverly Brothers take on the Natural Disasters.
Classic tag title match.
The original. Pretty deadly, the Beverly Brothers.
I mean, I was gonna say this is like FTR DOY this match, like
yeah, exactly, same thing. But yeah, Von v Braun next week.
We go to the parking lot where Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley are leaving, and Dom's like, I can't believe that Dragon guy trying to steal my spotlight. And this is when Axiom steps up and calls him a parasite. And he says, I can't wait till next week to see Dragon Lee. And Dom's like, wait, this guy again? Didn't you say last week how much you love my dad as well? And he's like, no, that was Dragon Lee.
I already told you. He's like, no.
We were just in the ring with each other.
Oh man, I was dying at this.
And Mustafa Ali now steps in and is all hot-headed. And he says, Dom, we need to talk about Sunday. I wasn't the one who was pinned. And Axiom kind of grabs Ali and he's like, yo, and they turn and Dom's just left.
Dom just grabs Rhea's hand and goes, and they just leave. I was dying at this. Dom just makes me laugh. He's so like nonchalant asshole. He is
making these guys seem like like complete geeks.
He does this all the time. I've been laughing at it since he's been popping up in NXT, but this one was I already knew where this was going. He was acting like, wait, what? We just did this. And he's like, no, I'm a different guy. Especially saying like, oh, I'm the best luchador of all time, and then like the only two luchadors here are like, hey, wait a second.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, are you guys the same person? Like, what a prick.
Axiom then gets in Ali's face and he's like, hey, you disrespected me just then. I was talking to him. And Ali says, well, try being disrespected for 6 years. You go off and worry about scripts or the Heritage Cup or whatever, because that North American Championship is mine.
Damn. Okay, so Axiom versus Ali coming soon, possibly?
I think so, yeah.
Be down with that.
Yeah, I thought this was fun. What other luchadors do we have in NXT right now?
Not too many. Not that I can think off the top of my head, because we had Santos was the god luchador of NXT for a while, so he's gone to he might be back.
Can we just put Humberto in a mask or something? Like,
we need more luchadors.
Yeah, because I think this would be a great gimmick if it's.
Where's Axiom from, anyways?
Yeah, if Dom is like the lucha killer kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, you could do that gimmick on the main roster. Look at AEW. They brought in Hoovy. Juice. You could get Psychosis. You could get
I'm not saying unmask these guys, but you could have him have a mask of each, like a trophy of each person he defeats,
or even like a segment. Remember, like Kurt Angle when he brought Sensational Cher, and he was like, you thinking he was tributing Sean, and there's like, no, I'm actually ripping on you. You could have him bring in like Psychosis or someone.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
That, have him beat him up or team with him.
Yeah,
something. But yeah, what other luchadors have come through WWE? Sin Cara, 1 and 2.
Yeah,
the good one and the not so good one.
Yeah,
who else have we had? Samurai
Kalisto,
Police.
Oh well, the whole Lucha House Party.
Grand Metalik,
Lince Dorado.
Damn.
Yeah, I feel like this would be a good thing.
Story. Yeah,
Gravity.
I actually no, I never want to see that fucking guy again. Well, I guess we'll see him at Wembley, I'm sure.
Yeah, Kenny Omega versus Gravity in the main event.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I'm a big fan of like all that, like Dom doing that shit. Like Dom is set for Dom going to AAA. Let's do some cross promotion.
Like you do Dom as Kevin Nash on Nitro. You know that?
Yeah.
I
have him unmask someone.
Yeah, like I think it'd be brilliant.
Put Dom in the opposite role. Yeah, that's hilarious. I just love that he could not tell. Like, he's such an asshole.
He's like, wait, we just talked.
When their masks are clearly different, even I can tell who this dork Axiom's mask.
Yeah, so funny.
Love Dirty Dom.
We go to Burn the Ship.
Yeah,
Baron Corbin. I noticed his new gear has Burn written on one leg and a picture of a ship on the other.
In case you didn't get it,
Titantron is a ship. Burning.
Fuck.
Love it.
Yeah.
He's taking on Andre Chase, who comes out with Duke Hudson and Thea Hale. They do their usual entrance and pose, but Thea just has no energy. Normally she's shaking the ropes and running around.
When she does the Chase U sign, she's usually like all hyped up, but this time she's just kind of like nonchalant, like, just
going through the motions here.
Yeah.
Chase tries to catch Corbin with some just classic wrestling roll-ups to start and tells Corbin that this is a teachable moment. They brawl on the outside, and Corbin hits his this DVD that he's been using quite a bit recently, which looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it does.
On the floor, which looked painful. And then Chase comes back by trying to chop down the bigger guy, attacking the knee of Corbin, and counters an Irish whip into a side Russian leg sweep.
He's got one of the best ones.
Yeah.
He can hit you with it out of nowhere.
Which sets up for the Chase U stomps, and then gets caught by a spinebuster from Corbin, who then applies the single-legged crab. And Thea, who's on the outside, who is holding a Chase U towel, sees the half crab, just throws the towel in. But unfortunately, the referee misses it. Corbin picks up the towel and throws it at Thea. And she's like, you know what? Forget this. She walks off. Hudson goes after her. And then Chase gets hit by the End of Days for the win.
Still a cool-looking move.
Yeah,
I guess. The saga continues of Chase U. It's kind of sad and interesting seeing what's going to happen here with her throwing in the towel and everything. I'm still upset that Andre did this, and we didn't really get to he's like, oh, you could have got hurt, and I helped you, and I don't know. She's upset.
Yeah, he's like, live to fight another day, but she could be champ.
Exactly.
Now. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad seeing Thea. Sad.
Yeah, exactly. I just need to see her all like Scrappy Doo again, but
yeah,
it's weird.
But I'm still invested in this Chase U story and Corbin burning ships.
This is the bloodline of NXT.
Exactly.
Chase U.
Where do you see it going? Do you see Thea leaving? Do you
At
see,
this point, maybe. I don't know.
Is this the breakup?
Yeah, it could be.
I still want to see these two as tag champs at some point.
That might be a long way away now.
It might
that might
be.
be just a dream.
We get a video of Roxanne Perez going back to Texas. There's clips of her kind of seeing her family. She interrupts her mom while she's sipping on a cocktail in the hotel.
Yeah.
In the hotel lounge.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, oh, let me put this out of camera shot. They interview her parents. They interview her sister, who seemed pretty like, she was like, I'm probably going to be crying at the event. Is what she was saying.
She did. Yeah, she did.
And then the replay of her getting attacked while being interviewed by Blair Davenport and highlights of the match and stuff. So
yeah, just kind of showcasing a bit of her story and her family being there and the whole part. Pretty cool. And the match was all right. So pretty nice.
We then see Metaphor celebrating, and they're reminding Noam that you just beat the NXT champion and the most successful North American champion of all time. And this is when Tyler Bate shows up and says that most of us spend our lives sitting under metaphorical rocks, but rocks with pressure make diamonds. And while I've been in Tibet meditating and clearing my head and getting better, and you need a fresh opponent, so next week, let's do it. Me v you. So, which sounds a pretty good match. Tyler Bate and Noam Dar.
Yeah, I love how Noam's like, no, I never accepted this. Well, the match is set. And he's like, no, I don't. No, well, it is.
It's happening.
So, yeah. I love the metaphor, and I like how they did hint at him, like, hey, technically Melo was in that match, and you beat him. So, you beat the NXT champ and the, like, former North American champ. Like, you should be going for more gold now. So, Noam's probably going to get big-headed and try to get a title shot off Melo. I'm sure of it. But next week,
I could see Dar beating.
He's gonna beat Bate next week, yeah, for sure. So
we go to the Schism interrogation.
Well, wait. So Noam's actually defending the cup when the actual cup winner isn't defending the cup?
I don't think this is a cup match.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is just 1-on-1. It's not rounds or anything.
Okay,
but,
gotcha.
We get the Schism interrogation. This was because two of the followers attacked Dyad during the match, costing them the match the other week.
We should say that we deserve writing credits for this segment for things we said last week that were gonna, or the other day rather, that were gonna happen.
Yeah,
we said the interrogation. We're gonna line them up and unmask them. Okay, just don't show up.
Don't show up.
And the other one, which will come.
Yes. So. They say we come tonight under unfortunate circumstances. Conflict is not uncommon, but can be explored with an open heart. And disobedience is toxic to our roots and must be eradicated. And there are two people among you who disrespect our values. And then Rip Fowler and Jagarita are a lot more hot-headed here. And they're like, we know it's you. Diamond Mine, Creeds, where are you? Come on. We know it's you. And then, what's her name? Little Rock.
Young Rock, the Pebble. Ava Rain.
Ava says, week after week, you have been adorned by these golden masks, and they're like butterflies in NXT or something.
Yeah.
You will be found out and punished, so step forward and take your mask off. So we get these PC recruits having their masks removed, and then one of them turns their back, takes the jacket off, and there's a brightly colored jacket underneath. And it's Ickham and Jiro, which go back. We were like, it's probably just jacket time.
Yeah. So someone's listening. We love you and thank you. This was a great joke, and I think some people laughed at it, but I don't think anyone quite laughed at it more than we did.
Us. Yeah. And they're like, wait, no, it's not you. Get out of here.
Get out of here. And he's like, oh shit.
And then they look at one who I'm pretty sure was Quincy, because it was just this bigger black
dude?
guy in a mask. And they're like, nope. You don't even need to unmask.
We're not unmasking you. Nobody wants
you. No one wants you. And so they beat up the other two. It's one tall guy, one shorter, stockier dude.
One guy's even got the socks like the Creeds wear. Yeah.
But it's not the Creed brothers. And then we go to the video screen, the Titantron, where we see very tanned Creeds in front of a clear, obvious green screen beach. And they're like sipping hurricanes, and they say, yeah, that wasn't us last week, but the surround sound at this hotel we're at was so good, it felt like we were there. But we're gone. You beat us. Loserly's Town, we lost and we left. And you know what? We're having the time of our lives. We've been at beaches. We've been at Easter Island.
Yeah, they're doing the like Wayne's World.
Slideshow,
Yeah,
yeah.
the bit. Look, we're at Easter Island. We're in Texas. Howdy. So they cut into different places.
And they're like, oh, and look, Easter Island, it's like just like the Creed mask. Sorry, the Schism mask. And they went, but the best place has been the beach in, and one says Fiji, the other says Hawaii, and they went no, Hawaii, Fiji. But wherever we are, we're not in Orlando. We're nowhere close to Orlando. And they drink their hurricanes and disappear. And Jacy is mad, and he says, enough is enough. Find the Creed brothers. Find them.
Yeah, he looks at the camera, and he goes, attention, Schism members worldwide.
It was very Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I will kill the Power Rangers.
Listen, all you people watching at home all across this country, members of the Schism worldwide, I want you to find the Creeds. What is this?
The Creeds are getting lamer and lamer every week.
Like,
they're not good at comedy, and they keep giving them stuff that's meant to be comedic.
I'd say I like this more than some of the stuff they've done in the past, but I think this story is just a little bit backwards, where like all four of the guys, the tag teams that are wrestling in this story are amazing. So like, let that kind of speak for the story. Instead, it's just they go to the goofy thing. So I'm not trying to like shit on it, because I thought it was funnier than like some of the other stuff, but at the same time, I'm really trying to
this is the thing with NXT, with like, as far as I'm concerned, the Creed's wrestling is there.
Yeah,
now
for sure.
They're like, sure, they're still pretty new and there's ways they can go, but I think they've got enough that they can put on entertaining matches on the main roster. But I don't think their promos and their acting is very good, and this is developmental, so they give them shit like this to try and...
Yeah.
If they were doing this on main roster, I'd be really groaning. But it's clear they're trying to get something out of these two.
Yeah.
I do cringe whenever they talk.
Yeah, it's like, are we trying to go Kurt Angle with it? Like, you're the serious wrestlers, but let's see if you're funny as well. Because like, I feel maybe the characters would work. I've been saying broken record, but with Braun kind of characters, like, yo, we're wrestlers. We'll like wreck people, and I kind of would like them a lot more in that character because they fit that kind of character. But at the same time, the crowds, like the NXT crowd, always responds to these guys as...
This is the easiest audience, though, isn't it?
It's like 50
DWC,
people. Yeah, it's like, so I don't know.
Did you find it interesting, no Gable Steveson on the show?
No mention of him, really?
There was one, like, picture of him in the highlight package at the beginning, but they didn't really mention when Corbin came out or anything. And
so bizarre.
I think after the reaction at the weekend, maybe it was a deliberate move, because you'd have thought you'd have followed up with him after his debut match.
Yeah, especially
on
with
a
the
PLE
double count out, no finish kind of thing.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't.
Remember
really
they fought. Remember Baron Corbin?
They had a big
to murder
pull
him.
apart, and this feud was continuing, and
Nothing.
Corbin's going straight to chase you.
It's like, yeah, I'll just go to school.
Weird, and I think maybe a deliberate move.
Yeah,
perhaps.
possibly. Yeah,
but interesting.
Yeah.
We then see a clip of Cora Jade last week, who's in the locker room, and she's mad because she lost to Dana, and she's questioning, why am I here? I am leaving. And she picks up a load of kind of fan mail, and then she's like, ugh, all these fans want to know my business. I am leaving. Good luck without me. You're going to need it. And just storms out.
Cora Jade left?
Yeah,
she's just gone?
Quit.
She's just, I'm done. I got beat. I'm mean. No one likes me. Maybe she comes back stronger, meaner.
Yeah, this character just hasn't worked at all for me. This just seemed... I don't believe her.
Yeah, I don't. I genuinely do not.
And I did like her in her first run,
Yeah.
like as the babyface and all that. I thought she was pretty good, but yeah, it's not clicking.
Yeah, maybe she's taking a break. Maybe she's coming back with a character change or friends or something like that.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Come back with a proper gimmick.
Yeah,
She's a
the
wizard
lady
or
with the
something,
stick.
yeah.
Just so everyone knows, the stick is a kendo stick. Okay, well, it looks like it's just some stick you painted.
stick,
Yeah.
We go to our main event of the evening. Gallus coming out in their football jerseys.
The Dallas.
You gonna
boys-
rock one of these?
Yeah, you think I'd look good in a
Wear it to
Dallas
Wembley?
sock?
Please wear it to Wembley.
No. What am I gonna?
I'll order it to my mum's so it's ready.
Yeah, true. It's just like green and black lines.
Yeah.
Like it looks like a real jersey from somewhere, right?
Yeah, I think the Brawling Brutes made some soccer jerseys as well.
Right. Yeah.
They're taking on Tony D, Stacks, and mystery partner.
Well, we saw his boots earlier. We forgot
Like 5 minutes before the match.
Yeah,
we see
earlier
a clip of the partner arriving, and you just see his shoes, no socks.
Yeah, gold shoes and like pants, and it's like, okay, the guy's stylish, so we assumed it was in fact Santos Escobar.
He got changed very quickly.
Yeah.
It is Santos, and we start with Stacks and Wolfgang going at it.
I loved the entrance, so he comes out. The crowd here are genuinely shocked. Like the 50 people in the CWC were losing their minds over this. Like, oh, that makes sense because the history. And when he stands between Stacks and Tony, he looks at Tony and goes, "Let's do some business," like the old times.
You could have had an Elektra interaction at some point. I think.
Too bad. Yeah.
I do find it funny though because obviously they're not Legado anymore. They're LWO. And it starts with Viva La Raza. So you're announcing like the mystery partner is... it's Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie, holy shit.
Jesus.
Eddie Guerrero is here. Oh, it's not.
Stacks takes down Wolfgang by the leg and starts delivering these knees to the ribs. Tony tags in and like launches Stacks into a cannonball on Wolfgang in the corner. And then all three of the baby faces get Gallus in like a front face lock and just start delivering punches to the kidney. Like a mob would do, right?
Mob punches, hockey punches. Yeah.
Stacks is then in the ring for a while, being beaten down by Gallus, trying to make the tag. He goes to tag Tony, but Joe runs around the outside and pulls Tony off the apron. Wolfgang then goes for his second rope moonsault, but Stacks moves and gets the tag to Santos to a big reaction.
I like Wolfgang's moonsault, even though he missed it here, but I love it.
Santos then yells NXT before delivering a high cross and then hits a top rope Hurricane Rana to Mark Coffey, which looked very nice, and then yells LWO before delivering double knees in the corner. Tony and Stacks are tagged back in, and they hit bada boom, bada bing to Mark Coffey for the win. Or it's funny because on commentary, Vic said it up. It's like bada boom, and Booker's just like bada boom, bada boom, bada beam, bada bing.
Yeah, both of them were like, wait, is it the other way around?
Bada bing, bada boom, bada boom, bada bing. After the match, Stacks, D'Angelo, Escobar, they bury the hatchet. They shake hands, they hug, and Escobar does the Italian.
I'm Italian.
Hands. Hey.
Yeah, business is business. Yeah, pretty fun match. It didn't get to like any like next level. It could, I know, because it probably could with all 6 of these guys, but it still had some fun stuff, and I guess just a kind of a hangover episode. So
but a fun hangover episode.
Yeah, it's like if you were at the show and the surprise was Santos, you'd be pretty happy about it. So
yeah, not a whole lot of kind of story setting up our future feuds yet, but I thought there was some fun stuff on the show. And again, like I feel you go back to that like 2.0 when there were a million segments, and this show felt so long. I really felt the pace over the last few weeks, like NXT's been kind of breezing by pretty nicely again. Which is just like way better pacing, way more focus on certain things, like not having everything on the show every week. Like we didn't like Tiffany short video was enough. Roxanne's short video was enough. You don't need to highlight everyone every single week. And I think that's when NXT worked back like 2016 on like that.
Yeah, no, I did think it was a like hangover episode, but it still like kind of let you calm down from the last show and kind of somewhat setting some directions or letting us wonder if we're going in certain directions, kind of shaking up after like the new cycle after a pay-per-view, right? So there's still like 2 months before the next one, so there's so much time to do so much more.
So after the show, there was a video from Ilja Dragunov, who still has his red eyes.
Yeah.
And he says, Trick Williams, you are the sole reason I am not NXT champion. And you are saying you're not done with me? Good. Because I'm not done with you either. And next week, my retribution begins, and I will not stop until you are entirely terminated. So it's confirmed. Next week's looks big. We've got Dragunov versus Trick Williams, Tyler Bate versus Noam Dar, Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio, Axiom versus Mustafa Ali, and Bron Breakker versus Von Wagner.
Wow.
That sounds a pretty stacked card.
Stacked,
yeah.
Stacked.
So looking forward to next week's.
Yeah, there wasn't any like too insane wrestling on this show, but there wasn't necessarily anything that too bad that offended me tonight. I even liked the Lyra Jacy Jayne match for what it was. I liked Rhea and Dom's segments. I liked Mello and Trick. I mean, that's kind of a big deal too, right? These two splitting up and going their separate ways. I'm wondering if it has something to do with Mello eventually going up to the main roster, joining Bobby Lashley's gang.
Yeah.
There might not, too many cooks that, hey, why don't we?
The Hurt Profits.
The Hurt Profits? Is that what I've been calling
I don't
it?
know.
The street business. Yeah. Like eventually Trick doing that, maybe after, I'm sure he's going to lose to Dragunov next week, but kind of get some respect.
I love them as a unit, and I think they'd work on the main roster as a unit.
Yeah.
But I also think Trick could do with more in NXT.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we've seen how much this guy's improved, but I feel like you could keep him another 6 months and move Mello up and then pair them back up or whatever down.
Yeah.
Even this bit, it's like, we're not breaking up, but I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah, and he wants to have some fights, maybe go for some gold and just, again, get his reps in. And I think they will be bigger places in WWE because they're really good. And I think their characters, if put to a bigger audience, would catch on to them because the Mellow Trick stuff has been awesome the past little while. So
we have a super chat from Jake on YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake.
Jake sending us $5.
Wow. You can always super chat us.
You can super
here
chat.
on upNXT and over on the Poisonrana.
And, well, he's got a question for us. He says, evening, fellas. Since we're approaching 2 years of HBK's NXT, what sticks out to you as far as the difference of booking style between him and Triple H?
Well, I mean, you kind of were mentioning the 2.0 stuff where it was like 20 different segments and like all these different things being thrown at us like nonstop. And I'd say that was like a big thing. And now they've totally like moved away from that and kind of gone back to a more like watchable, easy paced show than it was. But I'd say in the last like year, we see a lot more like older things being reused, like sampled in a way.
Like, like the barbershop window,
like the barbershop
and Roxanne
stuff.
Like collapsing and that kind of thing.
Yeah, lots of Shawn Michaels' greatest hits, but also like Booker T in the grocery store last week with Roxanne. So like I'm noticing a lot more like nods to things.
Well, even down to, not being takeovers, but using retired main roster and WCW pay-per-view names and things like that.
Fair.
Which isn't necessarily HBK doing that, but that I think Sean's booking is evolving a lot more, whereas I think Triple H's was kind of set in the same way, just rotating different characters in and out. But it was kind of the same kind of style all the time.
Yeah.
But I think I definitely think the main roster integration has helped a lot, and I'm sure that's something Triple H would have wanted to do more of back in the day, but maybe had resistance from Vince. Whereas it's now Sean asks his best mate if he can borrow Santos for the day.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
And I imagine like a lot of these like NXT graduates who are now main roster, they pretty much all live in Florida still anyway, because that's where they got their place when they were training in NXT. So like it makes sense. Like, oh, you're free on Tuesday, come.
Yeah.
But no, I think Sean's definitely evolved and it's been good.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it.
He's definitely stepped up. We have one piece of feedback as well from tonight's episode from Megan, who writes in, an easy watched Fallout episode of NXT. Trick Mello Gang parting ways was handled with grace. Trick Williams finding himself outside the champ's shadow is a smart move. The D'Angelo fam calling Santos Escobar for a favor was cool, and it put a pin in Gallus' feud effectively. Lyra Valkyria made her mark. I bet Wes, Lee, and Mello are the main event for Bakersfield, meaning No Mercy. Judgment Day came in, stirred shit up, and left, not without starting a feud with Dragon Lee. The title match next week smells like fuckery, will be afoot. I bet Heatwave or No Mercy will be the place where Dom loses with Rhea barred from ringside. And Cora is potentially moving onto the main roster. She has hit her ceiling. Let's see if she can keep afloat. So imagine thinking that Core is just going to the main roster. I do not see that necessarily, but yeah.
Where's she going then?
Yeah.
I wonder, like, if it's an opportunity, the next event where if Trick isn't in Melo's corner, that's when Melo drops it.
Yeah,
and it's like, wow.
Well, Dragunov has the gripe. Hey, now fight me.
Like, even when Melo's been a babyface, Trick has like given the assist a few times.
He helped him win the title.
Yeah,
he helped him win it. So
that would be interesting.
Yeah, like Wes beats him because Melo didn't have Trick, and
Yeah.
then he's like, "Oh no, that was something I needed there. I need friends."
Yeah.
So, yeah, true. I do think that could be the main event there of No Mercy.
Yep. Feels like
that's a long
they're maybe
time, but
setting that up. Yeah.
Wes is becoming someone pretty popular and pretty big. So that title run.
His reaction when he came out in Texas, like he gets big reactions outside of the CWC. So yeah. All right.
Well, I think that's it for the evening. That was us talking about NXT. That was Up Next. We hope you enjoyed it wherever you are. Maybe you're listening to us in the morning, you're driving, going to work, you're going home from work. Maybe you're in the shower. Maybe you're working out nude, thanks to that message we got the other day. That's awesome.
Whatever you're doing. Yeah.
Whatever it is you do when you listen to us.
Up Next is for everyone.
Fuck yeah, love it. So let us know how you up next, and follow us on all the social medias at Poisonrana Pod, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, all that stuff. And I myself, Braden Herrington, am on Twitter, Instagram at the Brady.
And I'm at Davie Portman.
We will be hitting you with a on the road podcast post SummerSlam this Sunday, so look for that. Of course, follow postwrestling.com for all the stuff going on this weekend, including John Away going live with their SummerSlam review. You're going to be joining Eric Marcotte for some G1 stuff, and we have our SummerSlam 92 review on our Patreon. All these shows over on our Patreon as well, so go give us a follow. Poisonrana.ca for links of all the stuff that we do, and check out all the podcasts that we like creating. We're small content creators, and we can't do it without people like you supporting us. So thank you very much for listening to us. That's it. That's all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And that was business. I don't know.
Boy.
Poisonrana.